How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers the movie, Studio Series 86. This is number 1 out of the series, Autobot Jazz, and this is a pretty cool figure. Um, he comes in the typical Studio Series type box. Um, this is based on the Transformers the movie that came out in 1986, the animated film that bridged the gap between seasons 2 and 3, and also brought us um, a lot of change to the Transformers franchise, including the death of Optimus Prime, as well as most of the season 1 and 2 Autobots. Uh, so it's just great to see that they decided to go this into the Studio Series 86 line with this Transformers the movie series, because this is just really cool. We're going to be getting the whole cast of Transformers the movie, the whole Autobot cast I know of, most of the Decepticon cast that we don't already have from the War for Cybertron trilogy lines, and it just coincides, and these figures look really good with the War for Cybertron trilogy figures. Opening up the box, you do get a display for him, and this is supposed to be Moonbase. Was it Moonbase 2 that they were on? Moonbase 1. They were on Moonbase 1. It was Bumblebee and Spike were on Moonbase 2. So you can see you got Moonbase 2 here in the background, and then just kind of this computer interface on Moonbase 1 where Jazz and Cliffjumper were stationed when Unicron attacked. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and keep this in the background for this video. Looking at the rest of the box, we do have product shots of Jazz in robot mode and vehicle mode on the back. Yeah, this really nice artwork here of Jazz, as well as on the front. It's the same, just close up here, and it's the same artwork on this side as well. I think that's about it for this. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the figure himself. He does come with one accessory. He comes with his signature blaster that he had from season 1 onward. It's pretty cool. It's cast in white plastic and painted over in silver. You can plug this into the top, as you can see from the start of the video. Now, this guy could have used a few more paint apps to make him more G1 accurate, but as it is, he looks fantastic in this, in his Martini Porsche mode. This looks absolutely great. He does have a bit of, foot kibble back here. Just based on the design of the figure, there was really nowhere else for this to go. So underneath, you can see it looks fairly clean. You just have like his shins here. The legs fold up nicely inside. Here's his waist. Well, his crotch, I guess you should say. His waist folds around into the cab, which is really cool. I'll show you that in vehicle mode, or in the transformation to robot mode. His arms, of course, and then his head here. So you don't have a whole lot going on as far as, robot kibble, other than this back here. And you can even pretend that it's like a weighted bumper. So it rolls really smoothly. It's very nicely, the pinned wheels on here are really nice for rolling. These ones aren't too terrible, but these look really nice back here. These do have this black pin in the middle, which is not a preferred method, but it is what it is. I think if you pop this off, okay, yeah, so this piece here, it like goes through, and it's attached to the rotation on the other side, which is pinned together with a metal pin, or a metal nail pin. He does have 14 here now instead of 4, when his number was number 4 originally. I'm sure Reaper labels, Toy Hacks will come out with a set of stickers that'll remedy that. It doesn't bother me too much. I don't display him in vehicle mode often, so like I said, it doesn't bother me too much. Here he is with a past incarnation. Here he is with the Reveal the Shield jazz from 2010-ish, 2010, 2011. I never did get the Power of the Primes jazz. I didn't like the design of it. I didn't think it looked good. So this is the only other jazz I can compare him with, and you can definitely tell how this is more inspired by G1, but with a more modern look. This one is definitely pure G1 design. It just looks so good. I do like this figure. However, he will be going to a new home shortly. This isn't the aesthetic I'm going for in my collection. Plus, his robot mode doesn't look good to me, honestly. While the vehicle mode is really great, I do not prefer his robot mode. I'm gonna go ahead and put him off to the side and take a look at details on this guy a little bit closer. You do have the red trim around the bumper here. The Allspark blue painted on these headlights. I guess they're really fog lights. The headlights are up here that they pop up. Silver here on the grill. Sorry. Nice Autobot logo in the paint. The blue paint here. Red stripe looks pretty crisp in there as well. I want to say this is the... I don't know what this here's for. I don't think it'd be a gas intake. I'm not sure how Porsches are. This model of Porsche is with the engine, gas tank setup underneath, but the clear blue that they used here looks pretty nice. You can kind of see his waist assembly in there, and silver painted in there. The blue and red continue up the middle. It does have this port in the top, which could have been done a little bit cleaner, I think. But coming back here, you'd see this white piece here that's used for hinging this up inside the rest of the cabin. The spoiler, very large, very accurate to the original toy and the original design of this vehicle. Yeah, silver painted on the rims. Pretty cool. So yeah, very nice. It's a good sized vehicle, as I showed with, this one. It's a decent sized vehicle compared to like an older deluxe. He scales pretty well with the other deluxe cars in the lines, in like the Kingdom, the Earthrise lines. Alright, so transformation to robot mode. You want to start at the doors. Just flip these up from the bottom. They do tab in here more securely, and then they have a small suggestion of a tab here where they also line up. If it's not lined up, then you're not going to be able to get it down very well, but you just pull these out like so. You can then come in here and pull out the arms. Just pull them out, rotate them down, rotate the bicep, and you can flip the hands out. This panel here on the front, with just the red stripe, you can push that in if you can get it. I don't think it's gonna go right now. I gotta pull the roof off, I think. Okay, so This is a bit of a difficult part to untab. You just kind of have to get your nail in there and pull it. It tabs in two spots on each leg. There's one tab on each leg, I should say, and it tabs into two slots here on this clear piece. And you just want to pull the whole roof up on a double hinge here at the base. That'll allow us a little bit of movement here on this panel so that we can now push this panel through. And with that, we can push this head through. There is a small clearance issue right here. As you can see, there's a little bit of red paint rub onto this from this panel. A lot of people have this issue. I guess if you take a file and just file this down a little bit, it probably wouldn't become an issue, but I found if I push this up just a little more, it just seems to give it a little more clearance. It doesn't really feel like it's moving, but it just seems to work for some reason. And then that's just gonna get pulled back a little bit, like there. And I'll sort that when we get further along in the transformation. Bring this up, and you will pull these doors in a little bit more close to their original vehicle orientation, and then this will fold around and up inside there like that. And then come to this piece and it just rotates around. It's a bit tight, but it will rotate around to the front like so. And then you can just bring down this assembly here, and you want to line these two tabs up with these two slots, just like so. And that locks the panel that the head's attached to, in place very nicely. I'll bring these doors in. You can flip that down now if you want. Come around here. We're going to just flip the feet up like so, and then flip these wheel wells down, the fenders down like so. Split his legs and then just pull them down. There's a small tab here, and it doesn't work very well on my copy. I don't know if it's a your mileage may vary type thing, but this double hinge arm, like it just, when I pull it out, this tab's supposed to go into this slot here. If you can see it, there's a slot right here, and there's a tab right here. It's supposed to lock in pretty well, but it doesn't seem to on my copy. Like, I can get it in there, and then like it just pops right back out. So I just don't bother with it. The joints seem pretty tight, so they'll hold his weight. And that's it. You just bring this down, and it just rests there. It doesn't tab in or anything. And there's Jazz in his robot mode. And he looks good. He looks great. Turning him around, you can see he does have some hollow gaps here in the back, but it doesn't bother me too much. Yeah, he looks like he jumped right out of the animation. He looks that good. And I've been waiting for a Jazz like this for a very, very long time. Like the Power of the Primes didn't look good to me. The RTS has been filling the hole for a while, but it just didn't seem right. He's too tall for my current display. And then the door wings just put me off. Okay, so he can hold his gun very nicely. And then articulation wise, he's very well articulated. His head's on a ball joint. You can look up. That looks like an appropriate amount of looking up. You can look down, and then his head can rotate. And it does have a little bit of side-to-side movement. His arms rotate 360, and then they come out on a hinge here, and not too much more on this transformation joint in here. So that's about as far as you're going to get his arm to come up. Bicep is on mushroom peg, so it goes around 360. 90 degrees of elbow bend, and then his wrist can move in and out due to transformation. Waist rotation goes around the whole 360 degrees. Very nice tight joint. And then where this comes around, it's also a really nice tight joint. This connection here, very nice, very tight. Moving the legs forward and back. Again, very nice tight joints on this figure. And then they come out to the sides. You can't get a full split. You can only go about that far. That's enough though. But he can get that full Monty going on. Rotation at the thigh. Very tight joints once again. This thing has really, really nice tight joints. His knees bend at 90 degrees on, again, another tight joint. Like, when I first got him out of the pack and just started moving like parts around, I thought I was gonna break him. These joints were so tight. These ankle rockers are tight too, like, and his toe can tilt up and down due to transformation. But look at that. Get him up here. And do something wild. Okay, throwing off his center of balance a little bit just to. I mean, this guy can. Oh, yeah, that joint's the only issue because it doesn't tab in properly, but yeah, center balance just right. He can kind of just do anything really. Really nice. Size comparison, here he is again with the Reveal the Shield Generations Jazz, and you just see how much better this new Jazz looks as comparison. This guy had like the really thin waist, and the door wings just don't look good to me. The door sitting on top of the arms, and those legs just look wrong. So this is definitely a great upgrade, even though he's a bit shorter, which is honestly a good thing in my collection. He scales much better with the current Autobots. Actually, I'm going to leave him in here just so you can see like how they scale. Here's Optimus Prime, Earthrise Optimus Prime. Here is Blue Streak, Earthrise Blue Streak. And you see he's pretty much on par with Blue Streak instead of being much taller like this figure. I actually would, when I was displaying them, bring his knees back a little bit, and even then he's still taller than the other cars. So you definitely see why this guy had to be replaced with this new fantastic Studio Series Jazz. And then for a final comparison, I'm going to go ahead and pull these two guys out and put him with his partner who was on Moonbase 1 with him. Here he is with Cliff Jumper. And that looks good. So I definitely recommend this figure. He's great. He looks really good with the rest of the War for Cybertron trilogy Autobot cast. He looks great along with the rest of the Studio Series 86 cast that have been coming out. I've got a few more of those reviews getting ready to that I need to make. So you'll see those as well. I definitely recommend this Jazz figure, especially if you don't have like a nice G1 accurate Jazz in your collection yet. He's definitely, in my opinion, miles above the Power of the Primes Jazz, and he looks better than the Reveal the Shield Jazz. Now that one does look better for some people. For me personally, I much prefer this newer Jazz. He's hitting local markets in my area right now, so he might be hitting Walmart and Targets and other maybe regional stores in your areas. So definitely keep an eye out on this figure, as well as his Wavemates Cup and Blur. I haven't gotten Cup yet, but Blur's review will probably be the next one I make. So stay tuned for that. And until then, till all are one.